The jungle biome in Minecraft sucks. It's extremely outdated and honestly just really ugly. So this had me thinking, what if I was able to completely upgrade this biome, turning this jungle into something completely out of this galaxy? Now my plan for this video is to build this upgraded jungle biome right next to spawn, preferably behind the Eiffel Tower. But one of the best features about this jungle biome is I'm going to be giving it its own jungle village, because there are jungle villagers in the game. But not just any jungle village, an ewok village from Star Wars. But you might be wondering to yourself, why am I even doing all this? Well, that's because of this one person on the Pioneer server, Disleaf. For some reason, he doesn't like Star Wars. Listen to this.
Boy, oh boy, I'm gonna burn down some towers if they don't burn down the Star Wars franchise and the Ewok villagers.
So now it's my goal to prove him wrong. My first step is to clear all these trees, which definitely didn't take forever to do. Now it gives me a complete clean slate to build the jungle from the ground up, starting with the bushes. If you go into any jungle, it's going to be almost impossible to move around because of these thick bushes, which makes it extremely annoying. But I still want to add these bushes in. But instead of only using big oak leaves, I'm going to be using a multitude of different leaves to add almost a texture to these bushes, starting with jungle, oak, mangrove, and azalea. Now that I gathered all the materials I'm going to be needing, we can start building up the vegetation for this jungle floor. We have to fill this entire area up with bushes, so this is gonna take a while. Alrighty, so I just finished with these bushes that had to get placed down, but while I was at it, I decided to add dirt mounds and a bunch of different rock formations consisting of lapis, coal, iron, and copper. This way it adds a lot of decoration and realism to this build. But now I have to focus my attention on probably one of the more difficult and time-consuming parts of this build, and that's planting all the jungle trees I need. And you might be wondering, how is planting seeds difficult? Well, when it comes to a jungle sapling, they're for some reason extremely rare. I don't know why, but they just are. And the average jungle tree will really only give you like maybe 2 at the most. So with that, I would have to most likely mine like 70 trees to get maybe enough saplings for this build. So after about a couple hours of just mining wood and sapling, I was approached by one of my friends, which he gave me one of the most useful things in Minecraft. A Fortune 3 hoe. Apparently a Fortune 3 hoe can give you more saplings from trees. I had no idea this was a thing. I didn't know people even enchanted their hoes, because you never waste diamonds in a hoe. But anyways, with this diamond toe, I was able to acquire all the saplings I was going to need in only like 30 minutes, which is awesome, because this next part's also going to be time consuming. I don't have any bone meal, so I have to go around killing skeletons. But after about an hour of doing that, I realized bone blocks exist, and the Nether has hundreds of them, which now allows me to plant all the saplings I got into this forest. Except that's also gonna take a while, because for some reason, jungle saplings just grow really weird. I don't know why they do, they just do. So it also is going to make this process even longer. Okay, now that we've had this entire forest created and all the trees planted, we can actually make more trees, because that's not all the trees planted. See, I want to add some massive mega trees in this build as well, because I want this to be an upgraded jungle. It's not an upgraded jungle if all the trees look the same. Now the good thing about it is I don't actually have to go gather materials for this project, because I dropped down so many trees earlier that I already have enough wood from multiple mega trees. So let's just knock this out real quick. Okay, that's 1 tree done. We still have to build 7 more trees, which is fine because we can knock this out real fast. Okay, so I have the base for all 7 of these mega trees finished, including the massive one I'm standing on now. But now it's time to go back to the old jungle to strip all of these trees naked so I can use those leaves on my trees to finally finish up this part of the project. Okay, so we have finally finished up on these trees and they look amazing. But There's one massive issue. Other players on the server have been mining down these trees. Reason is because this jungle looks too much like a jungle. So I desperately need to get this village finished so people know this belongs to another player. Now, the first part of building this jungle village is getting the roofs. As you can see in Star Wars, the Ewok villages have straw houses. Now straw isn't in the game, but hay is. The problem is I'm going to need a lot of hay to make a lot of hay blocks for all of the roofs. The best way to get a lot of hay is a wheat farm. So I'm going to build 2 different types of wheat farms so I can see which one gives me the most amount of hay. The first farm I'm building is by Treasure Toad on YouTube. Basically, this farm automatically harvests all of the wheat for you so you don't have to, but you still have to replant it, which is kind of annoying. The second farm is completely automatic. It uses villagers to harvest the wheat and hopper minecarts underneath the farm to pick up the wheat and take it to this chest, so I don't have to lift a finger. But for some reason, this automatic farm produces pretty much the same exact as this non-automatic farm. Kinda cringe, but whatever. So now I just have to sit here and wait. The waiting is for losers, so I'm gonna go out to as many villages as I can find and take all of their hay. It's just something I should have done from the beginning because I got 5 stacks in 20 minutes. Anyways, now that I've acquired enough hay, we can move on to the next part of this build, which is building all the houses. But I don't know how the houses are gonna look. I really haven't brainstormed that. So let's hop into a creative world real quick. This name will do, and just start brainstorming. As you can see here, this is one of the houses I've developed. Now, most of the houses are going to look fairly similar to this. Some are going to be made of all wood, more hay, more bamboo, less stone, but they're all going to look generally similar to this. The insides are going to be different depending on the villager that lives in there. This is the farmer. This is the main bridge that all the stuff's going to be connected to. It's not going to look exactly like this, but it's all going to be fairly similar. Nothing in this build is really going to look the same. That's kind of a vibe I was going for. Now, this is the platform that most of the trees are going to have on them. As you can see, they kind of match the aesthetic of the houses and the bridge, kind of rugged looking, which is what I wanted, but they're all still going to look a little different. But yeah, these are going to be wrapped around the bigger trees and some of the smaller trees. So when it comes to building all of these, I already have plenty of spruce wood when I needed to cut all of my leaves earlier. But what I do need are a ton of mossy stone, which honestly, they're everywhere, so that should be pretty easy. But pretty much, I got all my resources right here. But now it's time for step 1, the village building process, the platforms. Now, these should be relatively easy since there's not much thought going into these, just making a somewhat symmetrical platform and all of these trees, and then making them look pretty rugged and detailed. Okay, so I just finished all the platforms I wanted, and honestly, these look so good. But now it's time for step 2 of the building process, the houses. These houses are going to be made out of 3 main blocks: spruce wood, mossy stone, and hay blocks. Now, I already mined the mossy stone earlier, and the wheat farm was made so I can have all these hay for the roofs, so all I really need is the spruce, which is incredibly easy to get because there's a wheat farm 10 blocks away. Okay, maybe a little more than 10, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, this is the first house done, and I actually love it so much. But we have 10 more houses to build, so it's gonna take a while. Okay, so we're 100% done with the village. Now, all we need to do now is get the villagers here. Oh, wait, there's no bridges. Hold on one second. There we go. Now this village is 100% complete. Now, I know I said I was going to have some guardrails on the bridges themselves, but since they look so wacky and weird, I decided Nah. If the villagers fall, that's on them. But now is the most difficult part of this entire video. I have to now transport these villagers all the way to the jungle, make them breed, and then transport them all the way back just so I can have the correct villagers. But there is an extremely easy way to do this. Nether travel. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go through the nether with these guys. I'm going to go on top of the nether with a bedrock breaking machine. See, this little doohickey right here allows me to traverse the nether roof, which is a much more efficient and safer passage. I'll be getting done lickety-splickety. Yeah, I was not done lickety-splickety. This took a while. This took a very long time. Now, while transporting these villagers took the longest, simply just trying to get the jungle villager somehow was even harder. Because half the time, they weren't even giving me jungle villagers. They were giving me these broke-looking plains villagers. Like, get this trash out of here. But once I finally had enough villagers and was able to transfer them all to my jungle, I was finally done. But now it's finally time to show Disleaf that ewoks are cool and they shouldn't be burned down. I don't know why that was his go-to.
What did you want me to?
Anyways, okay, so this, if you come over here, you said Star Wars sucks and you want to burn ewok villages down. Well,
Yeah.
let me show you this. This is the coolest looking jungle village that's ever. I mean, this is the coolest one. Look at this. There's bridges, there's villagers. If they all haven't killed themselves, oh, they probably have. Anyways.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, man. This looks like shit. You know, I've never watched Star Wars.